Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to run your own Minecraft 1.8.3 server on Windows. So this is a little bit more difficult than they have had it in the past, the setup process and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you, and it's not that it's all that difficult, it's just time consuming, and for people who have never seen this method before are probably going to be confused at first. But it's not all that difficult to do. So what you need to do is go down into the description and get a couple things. So you're going to need to download this from this site here. So go to this link, I should say, and download buildtools.jar. That'll get you the latest version of Spigot, which is what we're using instead of Bucket, because you probably already know this, but Bucket was taken down by a DMCA complaint months ago. So we're using Spigot now, and yeah. So just download the buildtools.jar there and save it to your desktop for being able to get it easily. I don't know. Save it where it's easiest. I don't know. And then we're going to need to get this right here called Get. So hit download for Windows right there and download and install that, and we should be good. You have this icon on your desktop, and if you don't, you can just search for it like over here, there, like that. So once we have this, what we want to do is make a folder on our desktop. So go to New Folder, and we'll just call it Spigot. You can name it whatever you want, but I'm just going to say Spigot. And then we'll put the buildtools.jar into that folder, because when we run the git bash thing that I'll show you in a second, it'll make a ton of files and folders and all sorts of stuff in here. So if you had it on your desktop would become a massive mess. So don't want that to happen. Alright, so let's open up git bash here and type in cd, which stands for change directory, and we're going to go into this folder here. So if you saved it on your desktop like me, then it should be really easy. You just type in tilde, which is that little symbol up by the 1. You just hit shift and hit the little symbol up by the 1. That's a tilde. Do slash desktop and then slash spigot. And now we're in the spigot folder. That is just the tilde there means just the current user, so whatever you're logged into. It makes it for less typing. But if you saved it somewhere else, and you have to find out the path and everything all on your own. But if you saved it there like I did, should be easy enough. Then what we need to do is type in java-jar and then buildtools.jar, just like that. Now this is going to take a long time. Just let it finish. I'm not going to sit here and like talk while it's going, because it's going to take a very long time. But really quick, if you get something that says like Java cannot be found or something like that, then you need to install Java. Go for like Java 8. That's what would work the best. Download and install Java. I can't talk. So that you can run this command. But if you're playing Minecraft, chances are you already have Java installed. So just hit enter and let it go. And I'm just going to skip over this because, like I said, it's going to take forever. Alright, so that has finally completed, so we can go ahead and open up our Spigot folder here, and we can close out of this Git window now. Alright, so now you can see this did fill up with a bunch of crap, so we can delete everything except for Craft Bucket and Spigot. These two jar files right here, delete all of the other stuff. Alright, so now we have to rename these here, so get rid of the 1.8.3, just make it so it's spigot.jar and craftbucket.jar. Whoops, there we go. Alright, so now we need to right click, is that right? Yes. Right click, I always screw those up. Right click and go to new and go to text document and name it start. Open that up and go down in the description and copy this bit right here. Copy that and paste it into our new file, and basically what this is doing is starting the server. So right here is how much RAM it's going to allocate for the server. So change this depending on the amount of RAM that you have and how much you use your computer. So if you're running the server on it and nothing else, then you can allocate a little bit more RAM for it. But I'm using a computer with 8 gigs of RAM on it, and I use it quite a bit, so I'm going to make it so it can use a minimum of 1024 megabytes, which is 1 gigabyte of RAM, and a maximum of 2048, which is 2 gigabytes. So this number right here, the XMS number over here, cannot be larger than this number right here, because this is the minimum, this is a maximum. So if this is higher than this over here, then you'll get an error and you won't be able to run the server. Alright, so now let's go to File, Save As, and it should pop up in our Spigot folder right here. If it didn't, just go Desktop, go Spigot, and save it in here again, but instead of saving it as a text file, go to All Files, and rename that extension at the end, the .txt, name that to .bat, just like that. Save it. Now we can get rid of the little txt file here, and we can go ahead and run our server now. Pretty cool. Alright, just give it a second here, because what it's going to do is make a few files, and then it's going to shut off, because we have to hit any key to continue and close that out. Go to this eula.txt, change the eula equals false to eula equals true, just like that. Save. Now we can run our server again. Now you can see it's making all of the files it needs now, including our worlds, the plugins folder. Well, plugins might have been there already, I don't remember. And just some other files that it needs. Alright, now you can see it says done. So that means that the server is running, but we want to go ahead and change some settings for it. So type in stop. That's how you safely close a server. If you just close it with the X button up here while it's running, then you can cause like world corruption and stuff like that. So you don't want to do that, or you can lose a bunch of stuff. But after you type stop, you can either hit any key or you can hit the X button. It doesn't really matter. So let's go to the server properties file right here. You want to right click it, go to open with, and you can either select WordPad or Notepad, whatever you want to use. Or any third-party software you have installed. I'm going to go with WordPad. I just like it. Alright, so here you can change a few different settings. So allow flight, we're going to go ahead and turn that on. What else do we want to change? Force game mode, that'll force people to be in whatever game mode you set, which is most likely survival. Whitelist, I'll show you how the whitelist works. If you don't have the whitelist on, anybody can join. It would be a public server, but if you have the whitelist on, like I have on some of my servers in the past, that means only people with the like a username that you enter can join. So if you say, you know, you want you and your friend to be able to be the only people that can join, you enter your username and their username in, and you two are the only people who can join. Basically, I'll show you how that works. Online mode, you can make this so if you set online mode to false, then the cracked versions or pirated versions of Minecraft can run on there, but it opens it up to more vulnerabilities to like hacks and stuff like that. So if you change that to true, then it's only premium members and less likely to have cheaters and hacks and stuff like that. PvP, you can leave that on. Game mode, that's survival right there. You can enter the amount of players that are on the server. So if you're running on your own home network, you want to leave that between 10 to 20 players, unless you have like Google Fiber, like crazy fast internet. But if you're using just standard home internet, then you want to leave that between 10 to 20 players, because one, it does take a lot of bandwidth to, well, actually that's the only reason. It takes a lot of bandwidth, so if you have like, 100 players on your home network, it's going to lag your server. Your server's going to have lag, and your home network is going to go slow, and if you're sharing with other people, are going to get mad. So I'm just going to set that to the default 20. View distance, you don't really need to change that. And then the little message at the bottom of the server when people add that to their game, so I could just put in like Dogger 2011 server. Like that. That's all those settings we're going to go over, so we can hit save, and we're good. So let's go ahead and open the server up one more time. Should open up a little bit quicker now. There, it only took 2 seconds. So going back to the whitelist thing, if you want people to be on your whitelist, you would type in whitelist add, like I have here, and then you type in their username. So if I wanted to add myself, whoops, forgot the little underscore there. Whitelist add, and it says added Dogger 2011 to the whitelist. If I wanted to make myself OP or admin on the server, I'd type OP Dogger underscore 2011. Now I'm the OP on the server. And anything else I should go over? I guess if you want to talk to people while they're on the server, you can hit say like that and then type in whatever you want. Like that. Now it just said hola on the server. And just different commands like that you'll learn over time. If you want to change somebody's game mode, you type in game mode, creative, and then their username. So I'm just going to type in my username. It won't work because I'm not actually on the server, but that's how that works. And then like I said, when you want to shut the server off, just type in stop. So that's how you get your server up and running. One of the things I didn't go over, and I'm not going to go over, is port forwarding. So right now, if you try to give somebody your IP address so that you can join, it won't work. Because you have to open a certain port, which the port is 25565, if you want to end up doing that. If somebody else on your home network, like if somebody is using the same Wi-Fi that you're on, and at your house or wherever, if they want to join, they can. You just give them the IP address, which I'll talk about in a second. But if somebody outside of your Wi-Fi wants to join, they can't because the router has that port closed. So if you don't know how to port forward, I will show you what you would want to do in order to figure that out. So if I wanted to look up how to port forward my own router, I'd type in how to port forward Netgear, what is it? I'm just going to go with a cool name. Netgear Nighthawk. So that's how I would look up. I guess it's all one word. So you can see, how do I set up port forwarding on my Nighthawk, netgear.com. How do I add a custom port forwarding service on here? You can see all these show up. You can see there's YouTube videos as well. So that's how you would figure it out. Because the thing is, if I showed you how to port forward my Netgear router, you might have a Belkin router or a Linksys router or some other random router. I don't even remember all the brands now, but you might have a different router, and that's why I don't go over it, because it's going to be different for every person. You know, just about every person. There might be some people with a Nighthawk, and that might be beneficial to them, but not everybody has a router like I do, so it's going to be different for everybody. So I don't really want to confuse people. I just say go look it up yourself, and when you want to open the port, just put the port 25565 in. Now, if you don't know what your IP address is, you might look up, like on your computer, you might see there's one like 192.168.1.10 or something like that. If it looks like that, that would be your internal IP address, and you don't give that one to people. What you want to do is give them your external IP address. So you look up, what is my IP on Google? I'm actually not going to show my IP, but what is my IP? Just like that. You'd look that up, and then it should say your external IP address is yada 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 and whatever. That's the IP address you give to people, because your internal IP address is just distributed by your router, and that's not going to be beneficial. Nobody else can join. But with your external IP address and port forwarding and all that fun stuff, that would work. So yeah, hopefully I didn't confuse a whole lot of people at the end there, but yeah, you do need to port forward and then use your external IP address to give to people. And then once you've done that, then everybody can join your server, and you shouldn't have any problems from then on. But if you just want people at your house to join, you don't need to do port forwarding, anything like that. So yeah, also you can use bucket plugins. If you're familiar with bucket plugins, there's a ton of them. You just do bucket plugins, just look that up. All of these plugins will work with Spigot, which is pretty awesome because it is technically still Craft Bucket, but they have their own Spigot thing here too as well. So I'm gonna look up just some random one here. Bot test. I don't know. I'll just download it. Whatever. Nope. I don't think I can download that one yet. Nope. This one is not available for download. It figures. What about this one? Nope. This still says planning. And there we go. That one's in beta. Should be able to download it. There we go. Alright, so when you want to find a plugin, or you want to use a plugin, you just download it from wherever. I'm at the Bucket website here. Go to wherever you have your Spigot folder at, which is still on my desktop, and you save it into your plugins folder right there. So this is like a jar file. That's what the plugins are. Jar file, you open up your plugins folder right there. That's all you gotta do. You just plop it in there and run the server, and it should load that plugin. There we go. So if we scroll up, you might see that there was a massive error right here. Couldn't load plugin that. That could be for a few different reasons. It might be poor coding by whoever made it. It might be outdated. Who knows? But generally, I've seen these errors in the past, and generally it still works after that. You know, I can still load the plugin. I didn't look at any commands for it, so I don't know what to type in for it. But generally, the command the plugin still works, even if it does spit out some stupid error like that. But not in all cases. But that would be how you run run a plugin in Spigot. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions about anything. I'll try to answer any questions as best as I can, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.